VIDA website. So again, as I said, welcome to everybody. Thank you for being there. This is the 5th webinar that we organized in the context, in the framework of the VIDA project. The webinar today will be dedicated to the application support to all vouchers, CLOU5, which is the platform that we are using in order to upload the application forms of the VIDA voucher system. Today's webinar, we are having two presenters, Francisca Medina, project manager based in the Center of Expertise in Water, CW, in the Netherlands. She is a project manager working for VIDA project in CW, and also Paul Wendland from Balticnet, Plasmatec, also working in VIDA project in the plasma technology network based in Greifswald in Germany. Today's webinar, as I said, we are going to listen to both colleagues that will explain in detail what forms and how you must do if you want to earn a VIDA voucher, if you want to participate in the VIDA voucher call. I'm going to give the word to my colleague, Francisca Medina. Just a small reminder to all of you, we have a chat in the right part of your screen. In there, you will be able to raise your questions. When Francisca is finished, we will take all your questions. If they are very basic questions, like where are the vouchers and stuff, we will try to answer immediately. My colleague Katerina and myself, we will be paying a lot of attention to all your questions. If it's worthy that we explain it out loud, Francisca will take your question when she finishes her presentation. When Francisca finishes, my colleague will take over with the application system. So Francisca, thank you very much, and the floor is yours.
Hello everyone, I'm Francisca. I will present the first part of this webinar, application support to all the vouchers from VIDA Vouchers. I would like to let you know that this webinar is going to be recorded, so you can also see it after the webinar is finished. I am sitting next to my colleague Tom Feraiken. We are part of the coordination of VIDA, and we are going to present more or less how to apply and how to fill in the forms of the VIDA voucher scheme. So the content of this presentation, the first 3 points are going to be very brief. First of all, I will present the key facts of the project, then the main requirements for all of the vouchers, a brief voucher scheme overview that you can always take a look in the website and in CLOU5, and then the part that is the most broad part of this webinar, the application forms. I will show you how to fill them in and more or less where to focus the effort. So VIDA is a 3-year project. It's funded by Horizon 2020 InnoSub, and it's we got almost 5 million euros, from which more than 3.3 million euros are for direct funding for SMEs. We are 10 partners, and we are located in 7 different countries from the European Union. And we have, of course, a common goal is to support energy efficiency in food value chains through innovation. Those are the partners. You can find them the website. If you have any questions, you can always come to us and ask us. So the VIDA voucher scheme needs to fulfill some main requirements, which are to be an SME. For that, you need to, according to the European Union, so you can do also a SME check in the link. You can download this presentation from the website. You need to be an SME active in the food, water, energy, or key enabling technology sector, and you need to be a member of a VIDA cluster or be located in one of the VIDA regions. You can always take a look at this. I will send you right away the link of the terms and conditions of the application of the VIDA voucher scheme. And the applicants must also declare their financial stability. As an overview, we have 3 different types of vouchers. The smallest one is up to 5,000 euros. The second one is up to 25,000 euros, and the third one is up to 60,000 euros per SME, and they can be multiple SMEs. So the first voucher is the smallest one, 5,000 euros. It's for use in a time frame of 3 to 6 months, more or less, and it's just for one SME for having some support as in consultancy, training, or also to participate in VIDA events like the brokerage events that we need to organize and that we will organize through this year. The validation voucher is a voucher to up to 25,000 euros. It's also to be used within a time frame of maximum 6 months, and it's the aim is to address validation of one technology. So you need to partner with a service provider and test, for instance, a technology that hasn't been tested in one certain application. And the demonstration voucher is for more than 2 SMEs which would like to partner and have a larger project within a common challenge. So this challenge is going to be introduced via end user, and this end user is the one who's going to provide the place where the technologies can be tested. Each SME can apply to a voucher of maximum 60,000 euros, but that they can be multiple SMEs. They can lead to projects up to 250,000 euros per project. So now I will focus on the application phase of the 3 vouchers. I will present mostly the part of the filling the application forms. I will start with the innovation support voucher, which is like the smallest one. You can also take a look at the terms and conditions in the Annex 2. It is explained the evaluation and the assessment of all the projects, of each of the vouchers. So you can also take a look at the questions that we are going to review and what is the aim of each question. So this is the application form for the innovation support voucher. As you can see here, the form itself is actually a fillable PDF, so you can download it from CLOU5, and you will be able to write down in each of the forms, in each of the boxes, the information that we need to provide us. So here you can see the first page is just like main information. You need to write the title of your proposal, the application date, and the main information of the project coordinator, that this is one SME project, is just meant for one project, one SME. So you can just fill in all the information of the SME, and here you have like also to fill in the contact person. So this is the main person that is going to be the responsible for the innovation support voucher. In the second page is the main requirements need to be filled in. So you need to specify if you are, well, first of all, if you are a product or a service company, and in which sector you are related. If you are in the water, food, energy, or key enabling technologies sector. Afterwards, you can briefly explain the profile of your company, a very brief explanation of more than 200 characters. And then you need to declare to be an SME. There are like several questions, and you also can see here the link for the SME status. The last main requirement is to be located in one of the VIDA regions or be part of one of the VIDA clusters. So you can just click in more than one if you are located in one region, and for instance also be part of one of the clusters. In section 2, you need to explain what is the action about. So if you would like to, for instance, apply for traveling and for a training, you need to click on both of them. Then you need to write the proposal, including which service provider you are going to join the action. So for instance, if you're going to do a training, you need to explain what is the training about and who's hosting this training and which event you would like to attend in VIDA. The second part is mainly about explaining who's the service provider and which are the main competences of and why would it be like the best option for the applicant to do their action there. This is not applicable though for the travel vouchers. In the second part, this is the part which contains the most points of the evaluation, mainly because we are an innovation-driven project. So the most important part here is to make us aware why is this technology, this solution, this service so innovative, and why would it bring so much innovation to the food value chain. In this part, you need to write down the knowledge provider's name, which type of organization is it, and explain what are they going to do for you. For instance, if you have a training and a consultancy, you can put here then that you are going to do a training in X company, and then in A company a consultancy, for example. And here is just the budget allocation for each activity that you are going to perform with this 5,000 euros. In the last part that I'm going to explain in section 3 is just about like mainly a questionnaire for applicants, in which we would like to know if you are if you have females working in your company, and if there are how many are they, and also if you have linkages in the cross-sectoral, cross-border in your company. And if you have any other issues, any comments, any questions of the formulary, you can also write down. For example, if you missed something within the application, you can also point it out here in the additional information. The last part is the compliance declaration and the final part of this formulary that is going to be explained by Paul, because this is basically the submission of the first form. So if you can, Clara, put this next one. Thank you. So this form is more or less the same as the other one, but it contains a bit more questions because it's a larger voucher. The first part is mainly the same. You have the first general information of the project coordinator, the contact person, and also the main requirements. If you are an SME, in which sector you are, and if you are located or you have a cluster membership. The second part, in which you need to fill in the information of the test that you are going to perform, is much wider in this formulary. You can also see it in the assessment of this voucher. You can see it in Annex 2 of the VIDA Terms and Conditions. So in this part, you need to fill in the first five parts, I'm sorry. This is about the technical excellence, feasibility, and viability of the study that you would like to perform. So first of all, one of the parts is to point out the TRL level of your technology. For that, you can go to the TRL level explanation of the European Union, and then you will need to then explain why your technology is at the same level as, or higher than TRL 6. Then the scope of the test that you would like to perform is a brief the scope of the test, and then the main part is the test outlines, in which you need to provide like the steps of the validation that you would like to perform. Another point is the health and safety concerns of your technology, if it's, for example, safer than conventional technology, or if it brings more risks for the company, for a potential consumer. And the last part, the fifth part of this part, is the risks, in which we would like to know if there are any risks concerning the application of the technology in the part of the applicability of the test. If for example, you need to if it could bring a risk for the end user of the technology, and how you are going to mitigate this risk eventually if they are there. One of the main parts, of course, of this form, again, is the innovation, in which you need to describe two parts of it. The innovation within the sector of the VIDA scope, and the other one is the second question is the innovativeness for a value chain perspective, in which you need to explain why is this technology that you are going to validate better than the best available technology that is already used for this for the same purpose. And for that, you will get half of the points of the whole application. So it's really important that you describe very well and very precisely, and give them the most insights of the innovativeness of this of your technology, of your solution. For this part, the service providers are a key part of it, because this is a service that you are going to subcontract. So the organization in which you are going to perform the validation, it's very important that it's the correct one. Therefore, it's really important that you contact your preferred partner of the VIDA project to get some insight and support for the right selection of this validation test facility. In this part, you will need to point out the name of the service provider and why did you select this test facility. And in the last part of the form is the budget allocation, in which you need to point out the tasks with the main activity that can be related to the test outline, and the amount of money that you'll need for each part of for each task of the validation. You can subcontract a minimum of 75% and a maximum of other overhead costs. The last part is the same one as in the innovation support vouchers. It's just the questionnaire about the gender equality and the cross-sectoral and cross-border linkages. And the fourth section is any other comments about the application that you would like to address, if there is needed. For again, the last part is going to be explained by Paul from Balticnet, because this is the last part in which you need to sign and to send the form. So now we are going to see the demonstration voucher form, which is the most complicated one, more or less, like the wider one, because it's a big project. For this form, we have the same, more or less the same template at the beginning. In this case, that they need to be more than one SME, at least two SMEs involved in this in one common problem. You need to set a project coordinator, sorry, that is called PP1. For this, you'll then need to fill in the information of each of the of this company, of the coordinator company, and then fill in like the responsible person for the coordination. In this part, they need to fill in the same as in the other ones, the business sector, the SME declaration, and the location, or if they are joining one of the VIDA clusters. And in this part is different, because you can see that you need to also fill in the other partners. So you can have up to 7 partners, and you need to fill in all the information of each of the companies related to this project, and if they are an SME or not, and if they are located in one of the VIDA regions or clusters membership. All of these participants are going to be related to one of the numbers, so you need to be aware of that, because then in the latest part, in the budget proposal, it's very important to make it clear with the participant number. In this form, you need to point out the project description, in which the explanation of the challenge of the problem is going to be the focus of this part. So you need to point out what is the common problem, the common problems that you are going to address with the solution, and which is more or less the main issue of it. Related to the end user. In the second part of this is the technical excellence, feasibility and viability of this project, in which you need to point out the TRL level of the solution that you would like to demonstrate in the end user's facility. Then the scope of the project, and most importantly the test outline, in which you need to provide the key performance indicators and the success criteria. I would also like to address the fact that further in this form you'll need to set 3 milestones. These milestones in this project is really important. You can also read them in the terms and conditions, because the milestones are related to the payment of each of the steps. So if you set up in this outline also relate them with the milestones, it will be easier for the assessment of the application. So if you can put the summary of the test outline related to the milestones of the project, will be very helpful for the evaluators to have a more comprehensive idea of the project. The prospective users is the specification of the end user in which you are going to demonstrate the technology. So it's really important that you also point it out in the form and explain why is this end user going to be benefited from this solution. Why would it be helpful for them, and which is like the added value of your technology towards the problem owner. And the last 2 points are mainly the same as in the validation voucher, the health and safety concern. If your solution brings risks, for instance, if you use some dangerous acids or whatever that can bring risks to the employees or the company. And the part number 6 is the risks of the project, in which you need to point out which are the risks that you can think that your technology can bring, and how would you mitigate them in case they arise. Again, the innovation part is an important part in this section of the application form. It's the same question as in the validation form. One part of the innovativeness is related to the VIDA scope. So why is your technology going to be innovative for the food value chain and in relation with the resource efficiency? And the second part is mainly considered for like a comparison between the best available technologies. Why would this technology be more innovative than the one that is already applied in the companies, the best available technology? The third part of the evaluation of the form is the impact. So we would like you to write down what is the economic impact of this in case that the solution is going to be applied in the future. So in terms of for example, turnover or job creation. So why would this technology bring what is the economic impact of applying this technology? And the second part is the social impact. For example, you can point out the the work environment that is going to be better, for example, to apply your technology in some way, or that is going to be safer to work there, that it will help the society in some way, either in the company or also in the society itself. And the third part is the environmental impact, in which you can describe, for example, that your technology is going to be, it's going to use less energy, or it's going to save water, or whatever impact you think is the most important in applying your technology. So in the section 4 of the form is related to the work plan, in which you need to involve one of the partners in each task as task leader. So this is very important then that you put the number of the partners that in the section 1 of the general partner information. So you can use the project coordinator PP1, or PP2 is company, I don't know, and the company 3 is another company, and then you need to use, it's preferable to use this in names. It's easier for the evaluators to understand, and also to have it anonymized. In this part, you need to put the milestones that we need to have 3 milestones in each of the demonstration projects. That, as I mentioned before, is really important for the payment of the voucher. You can see the payments also in the terms and conditions, and it's important that you put the milestones and the estimated date in which you fulfill these milestones, so that we can that we have the idea of how and when is going to be released the payments of each of the vouchers. And the third part is the budget allocation related to each task, in which you can put the requested funding and the budget proposal. You can also see the eligible activities that are in the terms and conditions as part of financing. The important part of it is in this voucher, you cannot subcontract more than 50% of the total budget. And the last part is also like a questionnaire, the same as in the other ones, for gender equality and cross-sectoral and cross-border linkages. And as I mentioned before, this last part is going to be presented by Paul, because it's mainly about the submission of these forms. So if you have any questions, can you Clara?
Yes, hello, there are many questions, Francisca. Allow me to read them out loud so you can answer them directly. So first of all, Juan from Libelium, from the demonstration voucher, did you say that the use case holder should be the one to apply?
The one? I didn't understand.
If the end user is the one that should apply.
No, the one that is applying, well, the end user, the one that is applying is the solution provider. So, for example, you have a technology related to manure treatment, and you have a company which has the problem that cannot handle manure, for example. Then the technology supplier is going to be the project coordinator, and he can partner with another SME related to another thing that can provide him help for the solution to be applied in this problem, for this problem. I don't know if it's clear.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, I think that also, I mean, the end user can also participate in the demonstration voucher as a participant, as a project participant, as long as it is an SME.
As long as they are an SME. If they are not an SME, they can't receive any funding.
But in any case, all demonstration voucher must involve a prospective user. Either it is an SME or not. So this is basically the answer. Another question, may a company apply for more than one type of voucher?
Yes.
Well, yeah. The answer is yes, as long as they do not apply for more than 60,000 euros, which is the maximum amount that an SME can receive from VIDA project, yes. Another one, how many innovation vouchers are available?
Innovation support vouchers?
Yes.
10. No, let me check.
Well, the budget is 125,000.
So they are depending on the size of the applications. Yeah, but we have this the budget is 125,000 euros. So it depends on how many applications and how much money they are requesting. If they are requesting only 1,000, we are going to have more vouchers.
Okay. Another question. Will there be a matchmaking organized for the demonstration project?
Yes, we're going to organize a matchmaking event very likely in September.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was to add something to Francisca's answer. We did organize a matchmaking event in February, in early February. So until September, there won't be joint matchmaking organized by jointly by all VIDA partners. But if you go to the different VIDA partners, to the different VIDA clusters, maybe there you can ask them to encourage other matchmaking events or bilateral encounters. They can guide you through this, okay? So this is what we are trying to do here in Spain. Next question. For the validation voucher, the technology at the time of submitting needs to be TRL 6.
6+, yes.
Another question. What if some of the partners from the demo vouchers are not an SME?
They must be at least 2 SMEs involved. If there is a third company, maybe they can subcontract the service with them, but they are not eligible for receiving any funding.
And to add something, Francisca, can you just add, if there are other non-SME partners, should they complete the form, the table of the demonstration voucher that you just mentioned?
They can.
And that is shown. They can. Another question. Can you explain once more the points and what will be done with it in the review?
I didn't get it.
Oh, well, I think, Joka, you have in the terms and conditions all the evaluation, the evaluation system. So maybe you can have a look there. And basically, it is related and totally aligned with the different questions and sections of the application.
Yeah, if you would like to take a deep view of the evaluation of each of the vouchers, you can see in Annex 2 of the terms and conditions, there is a large description of the assessment of the process. So then you will have like all the points and all the parts that are going to be reviewed by the evaluation panel.
Okay, next question by Jonas. Would it be possible to have a validation voucher running and apply for a demonstration voucher before the final report of the validation voucher is delivered? Well, that might be, if you allow me, Francisca, if providing you present in the first round the validation voucher and then you start the second semester and then you apply for the demonstration voucher while your validation voucher is running. So it's a bit complicated, but it is possible.
Yeah, they can apply, right? But I would think that the validation voucher needs to be finished once they get the demonstration voucher running.
Mm-hmm. Will the project leader get all the funds also for project partners?
Which question is it?
From Yoga Cardulus, will the project leader get all the funds also for the project partners in a demonstration voucher?
No, each of the SMEs can get up to 60,000 euros. So each SME needs to have will get the fund separately.
Mm-hmm. When should the demonstration project officially kick off?
What do you mean by kick off?
The start date of the
project itself. It depends on if they submit the application before the 29th of March. They can start after the application is reviewed and awarded. That will take at least 8 weeks after the 29th of March. So that will be like beginning of June, I would say.
Mm-hmm. And last question, if the company doesn't ask for money, it's necessary to be an SME? I think maybe you mean the end user. In this case, no, I would say, Francisca.
If they don't ask for money, it's not necessary to be an SME, no.
Okay, this is it for the moment, so don't leave us yet. Now we're going to have a presentation by Paul, who is going to present us the application system. So Paul, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Clara. Thank you very much, Francisca, for your presentation. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. My name is Paul Wendland. I'm Project Manager for Balticnet Plasmatec, and today I want to talk to you about CLOU5. And to make it a bit interactive, I will share my screen for this, so you can see right away what I'm talking about. So, okay, CLOU5. So this is CLOU5. This is the online platform we're using for where you can upload your application forms. So what is CLOU5? Just quickly, CLOU5 started off as a German project between 3 German clusters. One is Balticnet Plasmatec. The other 2 are FPI and Innocent. So CLOU5, the idea behind CLOU5 was that we wanted to combine several project management tools such as Trello, Skype, and Google Drive into one interactive platform. And this is basically what we came up with, our cooperation platform CLOU5. How can you get to CLOU5? So there are actually 2 ways. You can get to CLOU5 via the VIDA website, which you see here. And if you're interested in the voucher scheme, you can go to Vouchers. You can go to Demonstration Voucher, for example. And down here, you have a link which will direct you to CLOU5. The other way, obviously, is you just type in www.clou5.net, and I will get you directly to CLOU5 as well. So once you're on the website, you will see this big VIDA logo right down here. So this is where you have to click on if you're interested in applying for vouchers. So I'll just show you. So this is the landing page for the voucher scheme we have. And here you see immediately our 3 voucher types, which are the Innovation Support Voucher, Validation Voucher, and Demonstration Voucher, just explained by my colleague Francisca. Here is also a short introduction about the VIDA project. You may read this if you want. So let's start with the Innovation Support Voucher. So if you click on it, you will be directed to the Innovation Support Voucher site, where you will see all the information you will need, such as the guide for applicants, terms and conditions, and the application form. So if you want to read this, you just click on it, and you will be directed to this site, and you just open it, click OK, and then you can download the document. So let's just go back. Obviously the same applies for the other two. So now, how do you actually apply for a voucher? Well, there are two ways for the Innovation Support Voucher and for the Validation Voucher. One way would be you download the application form, you fill it in. Francesca just explained this, and then you save the application form and you upload it via the voucher submission tool. So how do you do this? It's really simple. You basically click on Browse, and then you go and look for your file, for your application form, and you just click Submit Application. So once you do this, you see this green notification up here, your file was successfully saved. And this basically means you have applied. So this is one way. The other way, to make it a bit easier for you, is you have a Submit button which is in the application form itself. So this is the section 5 where Francesca said I would explain this. So basically you have a privacy declaration and you have financial stability declaration, which you will need to confirm. And then you will have to sign this paper. And once you sign it, a Submit button will appear. So instead of uploading it on the CLOU5 website, you can just click on the Submit button and it will upload directly to CLOU5. And I will just demonstrate this for you so you can see how it looks. You click on it, it is uploading, and you will get the message Upload Success. So that is basically the second way how you can upload your application. And this applies for the, once again, this applies for the Innovation Support Voucher and the Validation Voucher. But obviously we have a third voucher as well, which is the Demonstration Voucher. And for the Demonstration Voucher, it's a little bit different because you will need a login. So you click on it and it will be directed to a login page. And it obviously said you must be logged in to view the requested page. So the login you will get from me personally. That's why you will have to send a mail to me, which is explained here as well, containing your name, your surname, country, company, email address. And then once you do this, and I know a few people have already done this, I've recognized a few names on the webinar today as well. Once you do this, I will create an account for you on CLOU5 and you will get your login. And you can access then the Demonstration Support Voucher site, which I will access for you now. So let me just type in my login so you can see how this looks. So it's the same structure basically. You have your documents here which you can download, your application forms, which you will then be able to fill in. Once you do this, you only have one option to upload, which is via the Submit button. Same procedure, you go on Browse, you look for your application form, you click Open, you click Submit Application, and it should upload. You get the green message. There is no way of uploading it directly in the PDF for this voucher only. And this is because you will need a login. This is basically the application process for you. So to recap, there are two ways. You can upload via the platform itself, how I just demonstrated, or for the ISV, for the Innovation Support Voucher and the Validation Voucher, you can upload directly in the PDF. Another thing I just wanted to quickly talk to you about is groups. You have the opportunity, once if you're interested in the Demonstration Voucher and once you have your login, you have the opportunity to work with your partners on the application. And for this, you can open up a group. This is a very effective way of project management. And just to quickly show you how this works, you can click on here, go to groups, click on groups, create a new group where you can type in your name. I'll just demonstrate this quickly for you so you can see how it looks. So we can type name this test group 1, for example. You will need to designate a sponsor. So in this case, it will be Balticnet Plasmatec. Then you have to go to the access. You want this closed because obviously you want to work in private, and we have this safe environment where you can work in. Then you want to see who can see this group members only, so you can only invite the people you want to work in your group. And the default access you can set on private. And for tools, you obviously want it as a work group. So you select work group, and then you select save. And then your group is established on the platform. So what can you do in a group? You have a few tools. You have group activity. You have a calendar, for example, where you can insert meetings. And obviously all the other members will get a notification, so everybody knows when the new date is added. You have group discussion, where you can raise a few queries or ideas you have. You have group files, which is good for sharing. You can upload a file. For example, a draft of your application you can upload, and then all the other members see this, and they can have access to it, download it, have a look at it, change it, and then upload a revised version, for example. You also have polls, you also have tasks, and you can also have a video conference for having web meetings or internal meetings where you want to discuss things. So therefore I think groups are quite useful, or can be useful, in coming up with a good application for the demonstration voucher. This is more or less it from my side. I know it was a very short presentation. If you have questions, I'm your contact person, so you can always email me if you have questions relating to the platform itself, how it works. If you want, we can have a Skype conversation as well, where I can show you step by step if there are problems, or even how to open up a group. I just did it quickly for you, but if you want it more in detail, then we can arrange something. I'm happy to help, but I just thought I'll give you a quick overview so you get to know the platform a bit. And that's it from my side. Thank you very much for listening.
Presentation, I think it was crystal clear. There was one question about digital signature, if it was mandatory or not, which Francisca already answered. Digital signature is not mandatory, but it makes the submission easier. Another question.
Sorry, if it's only, it is only mandatory, kind of, if you want to use the button that is inside the PDF. If you don't have any signature, if you don't want to create any signature, you can always just send it via CLOU5 with the first explanation of Paul.
Another question. Is there any check-in about the financial stability?
Francesca, do you want to answer this question?
In the final part of the form, the compliance of the form refers that they need to confirm that they are not in any financial risks. So this is the part in which is stated the law that is involved in this part. So this is the thing that they need to check. However, if they get awarded they will need to sign a contract with us in which it will also be mentioned that they cannot be in a financial, they need to be financial stable.
Otherwise, they cannot be awarded. So another question. Well, maybe can you just, Paul, explain again so everybody has it clear for the demonstration voucher? How is it possible to get the login to the platform, which is something compulsory in order to submit the demonstration voucher for the project coordinator, please?
Yes, no problem. Basically, as I said, you just sent me an email. It's pw@baltic-plasmatec.org. And the information I need, I already received a few emails from a few people, and the information I need is the name, surname, company, email address, and country. So this is because, first of all, to give you an account, and secondly, to give you a sponsor. So a sponsor basically means there's someone from the consortium who's looking after you and who's giving you support and help during the application phase. So that would be perfect, but this is also explained on the VIDA website as well as on the CLOU5 website, the information I will need.
By Yoga, will payments be based on results, e.g. milestones, or based on effort? Francisca, maybe you can just explain out loud.
Sorry, Clara, can you repeat the question? Clara?
With the microphone off. Sorry. Yoga asks if the payments will be related to results, e.g. milestones, or based on efforts in terms of budget.
The payments will be related to milestones. After each milestone, after each participant, awarded participant reaches a milestone, they will need to send a brief report in which the milestone achievement is explained, and then we will proceed the payment. And all the payments towards the SMEs are going to be from the coordination of the project, meaning CW.
Okay, another question to Paul. Should all the partners of the proposal for a demo voucher must send you an email, or only the lead partner?
Yes, thank you. A very good question. The lead partner will need to send me an email, and then basically everybody who wants to work on a group will need an account on CLOU5. So there are two ways to do this. First of all, is the lead partner will send me an email with the information of the people he wants registered on the platform. Or another way would be that each partner of the lead partner individually gets in touch with me. So there are two ways, but yes, they will all need an account on CLOU5.
No more questions. Francisca, Paul, would you like to say something else?
Well, I would like just to thank you all for your participation, and just to say to everyone to apply to these vouchers. And if you have any help, you can always contact any of the partners. You can always send an email to info@vidaproject.eu. You can get more insight of each voucher, and well, success.
Paul?
Yes, the same basically as Francisca said. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining, for giving us the opportunity to present the platform and the vouchers and the application forms today. And yes, when you need questions, especially regarding CLOU5, don't hesitate to contact me. I think my email address is
You are
in the
the
chat
first
now.
participant to join the conference.
So yeah, just send me an email if you have questions regarding CLOU5, and then I'll be happy to help you. Thank you.
Okay, so from my side, I would like to thank you again, as my colleagues did. I think I forgot to present myself. I'm Clara Presa from ZINNAE, from the water cluster in Spain. So as they said, I think Francisca said it perfectly. It is not only, you can either use the general email address if you have questions about CLOU5 or want to join the platform in order to apply for a demo voucher, contact directly Paul. But for any other questions, so we are a crew of 10 partners in VIDA projects, and all of us will be delightful to help you with your submission process. Regarding these webinars tools, this is the last one for the first round of webinars, so we will be back in July and September with more interesting webinars in order to, that will be very focused in the second round of the demonstration vouchers, which will be open in the 1st of August until the 31st of October. So first of all, now I encourage you to send us your proposals when you're ready. Remember that there is an important deadline on the 29th of March for the first call of demonstration vouchers. This is all from my side. Thank you very much. Thank you, Francisca. Thank you, Paul, for your very interesting and very, very clear presentations. And good luck to everyone.